This is the addendum on my mom post. The only reason she's talking to me now, after 8 years, is I have been sending open postcards about circumcision to their address so the mail carriers can see them. That's the only reason. And like I knew she was a problem because like one of the last times we saw each other, she went to give me a hug and she did this weird knife motion to my belly. And I'm like, why is that subconscious for you? You know? And it is like her thing from her like religious education was boys are bad and she should put them down and change them because how they are on default's naughty. And that is like that was put into her by people who rape kids. They don't give a shit about your lives. Do you put bait on a fish hook to feed the fish? No. Are the cows in pens to care for them and give them a life? No, they're there to eat their corpses, And it's that level of like, oh, you went to a public school? Yeah, you better do homework. They we freed kids from child labor laws and then they make you do homework. It makes no sense. Anyway, yeah, the only reason she's writing me now is she's getting, and I love it that their home equity's in the middle. They haven't paid off the home yet. They don't really own it. Um, and so, yeah, that means they still have to work. That means they're still making payments on it. It's just, yeah. That means that she's not in this comfortable situation where she can just relax. Yeah, so um, I haven't sued her yet. I basically would have to target like the spot to sue her in. And then, yeah, I don't know if I have to do it in the state she lives. Could I go back to California to do it? California would have my back. They've had my back before. Yeah, circumcision is definitely genital mutilation. There's enough video evidence today that it's horrible. It's not what you should be doing to people. And the people who thought of it are crooks who don't care what happened to you. So, you think the cows are the end of the people in cages? Nah. Anyway, the only reason my mom is writing me back now is because she's been getting postcards every day with open information about circumcision. The mail carrier can look at it. That's the only reason she's giving me her, like, we're happy for you. We just want happiness, right? And then she blames me. Her problems with me are I hung out with homeless people before. We don't know what that means. I don't have any experiences in my memory that look like that, but that's what she thinks is a problem. And that I should have worked harder. I don't know. I don't think so. I think she's like, one, I have a bullet in my head. I was shot when I was sleeping, and I was shot in the line of duty. So, uh, I get paid for that, you know. It was a slam dunk. They gave me, not only am I like 100%, I'm like 140%. I have problems with like my shoulder and knee too. You can see me if I have to move. I'm not overweight, but if you see me move around a lot, I'm going to be hobbling in a few minutes. I really can't do it much. Um, but I should work harder, right? Anyway, yeah, she just did cruel things. I remember seeing her grind her jaw at the edge of the pool, all the things she couldn't say, like her tight, pursed, anorexic lips, unhappy with life, going, just fucking work harder, you know? I used to have to swim for hours in a public pool, which I still hate. I hate that. I hate that. I haven't touched one since they stopped making me, and I complained every day. I cried every day, stop, I hate this. No, I liked art, but I never, ever did it because they put me down when I did it. I got in trouble. Um, they were fine with me painting Warhammer 40K. Yeah, I never had an allowance because they said I'd buy drugs. I really have never even done that to this day. But they were fine with like, oh yeah, you want to paint some war machines? Go right ahead, because that's what my dad did. He built war machines. So, yeah. come the war machines. Petroleum and steel has an idea for you. Yeah, the only reason she is writing me now is she's been getting open postcards about circumcision. So she's getting glossy, bloody diapers in the mail. She's getting pictures of kids getting circumcised in the mail open. And I'm saying this household supports that. That's the only reason she's writing me now. We went 8 years before our contact. It took a long time. Took a long time. The servants of the Lord are corrupt pedos. They're not just, and they do have like personality hang-ups because of who they are. So, yeah. The only reason my mom is writing me now is she's trying to make me shh. Don't tell everyone. She's like that. I remember her doing this, like, what would other people think? She's that person. Lives to it. Real anorexics really care a lot, and she is. Classically, her Oma was an anorexic, and she is definitely anorexic. And to them, getting fat is the worst thing ever. Don't do it, you know. And in pursuing that was the loneliest and worst feeling I've ever felt. So I definitely, like, I hated what Rachel Rising went through, trying to stop that. Yeah, that sucked. Girl starved herself to death. She was bragging the last month she was alive. She was like, look, I can fit my whole hand around my leg. And I'm like, that means you're a bone. That means you're a bone. You go down to that, you die. Yeah, it's sad. Her face looked horrible too. Cute, like, I knew a girl, Tiffany, I liked. She was biggish. I don't know if she was pregnant. I hate that. That is like, for women, it is like, I don't know. Yeah, don't get them pregnant and leave them alone. You should intend on starting a life with anyone you knock up, I feel like. And you shouldn't have a kid if you're alone. That's just toxic. But she may have just had a belly, which is what I assumed it was. I assumed she just had a pooch. Anime had a huge influence on it. Oh yeah, you should be like this thick then. Really? Who thinks that? Because I know that the fat's a chi ball. There's a few things that fat does for you that's super useful that really nothing else does. And it's not like you were naughty and gained weight. It's really like you should be okay with it. Anyway, yeah, the only reason my mom wrote me, the only reason is she's been getting open postcards in the mail, which I only started doing. I was not sending them open postcards in the mail about anti-circumcision until really a few months ago. And it's only now that she's like, okay, I have to start talking to him again, which ignore me for 8 years? Like, some people go, get rid of your family. I go, I have no other family, though. Who else am I going to talk to? When I think of, like, and it's like, yeah, as horrible as it was, they were, like, time together and holidays and stuff. So, I don't know. I'm not with the holidays. I think they're hoaxes. But, yeah, that's how I feel about it. Yuck. Yeesh. And youch.